So here is a question, again, repetition of the same concept that we have been discussing time and again. Very quickly going into it, Mr. Ajay, a registered supplier of goods, pays GST under regular scheme and provides the following information for the month of August 2021. So we have interstate taxable supply of goods 10 lakhs, intrastate taxable supply of goods 2 lakhs, intrastate purchase of taxable goods 5 lakhs. Then he has the following input tax credit at the beginning of August 2021. CGST, SGST, and IGST, some amounts are given as beginning input tax credit. Now, if you notice, number 1, number 2 are supply of goods, while number 3 is purchase of goods. That means on that purchase, we would have received some inputs also, input credit also. Yes. Now, rate of CGST, SGST, and IGST are provided. Both inward and outward suppliers are exclusive of taxes wherever applicable. Not necessary. You may ignore this sentence, no problem. Either way, would have assumed the same thing. All the conditions necessary for availing the ITC have been fulfilled. Again, not necessary, we would have assumed the same thing already. Compute the net GST payable by Mr. Ajay for the month of August 2021. So very straightforward, we have repeatedly been doing similar question. Yeah, interstate supply of goods 10 lakhs. We have IGST applicable on interstate, which is 18%, which comes to 1,80,000. Now, on 2 lakhs of intrastate supply, 9% CGST, 9% SGST. So the amount comes to 18,000 and 18,000. Now, we had ITC beginning 20, 30, 25. So we have during the year purchase of 5 lakhs. So ITC on that, assuming that the CGST, SGST are rates on the purchase are same, exact same as the output sell. 9% of 5 lakhs is CGST input, 45,000. 9% of 5 lakhs input credit of SGST. Now 45,000, 45,000. The final balance of input credit at the end of the month are IGST 25,000 remains as is, 65,000 CGST, 75,000 SGST. Now the question comes into picture, which one to adjust with which one. So our logic of, if you remember that chart, this comes into picture. No, 1 second, let me just copy paste that here. Yeah. So first of all, if we have CGST, CGST, let's adjust that. SGST, SGST, adjust that. IGST, IGST, let's adjust that. So if you look at it, we have CGST liability of 18,000 and CGST credit of 65,000. So obviously 18,000 first of all is adjusted against that. Yes, clear, right? Any questions, please, in between? Okay. So once we have adjusted 18,000 out of the input credit for CGST, the remaining CGST credit is 47,000. Now 47,000 obviously can be adjusted against IGST. So we have number 2 coming into picture here. Now SGST, we have output liability of 18,000. We have credit of 75,000. So 18,000 either will be adjusted against the SGST liability. The remaining 57,000, as we know, cannot be adjusted. It will be carried forward. 57,000 is being carried forward to the next period. Cannot be adjusted in this year. Now IGST, 25,000 credit we have, liability we have 1,80,000. So obviously the whole 25,000 can be adjusted against IGST. That comes into IGST section. Now, if you net the credits that we have availed against the liability, we are left with now net liability of IGST of 108,000 and 0 of CGST, 0 of SGST. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Now,
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
for this last scenario, like output and input CGST, input SGST, can you just explain us like with the scenarios like towards the right, referring the right table?
Like, sorry, for example, right output, table, this one, referring to this one. Okay, no problem. Referring to. So first what we did was we adjusted CGST credit against CGST liability. That is coming from this one. Let's call it 5. This is 6. This is 7. So this is 5. Okay. Then the balance of CGST is 47,000. We obviously can adjust it against IGST. That is coming from 2.
But but the thing is, you had written output and input, right? Output GST and input GST. The column N and O.
Yeah.
Based on that, we are going to check. So I want to understand. Like I see output as 1,80,000. Let's take column E and column E 185.
Yeah.
So my output is 1,80,000.
Correct.
So IGST is also my output. Sorry, it's input, right? It's input, right?
No. That's
It's input tax credit, right?
No, this is output liability. Output.
Okay. Output is for IGST, it is 1,80,000, right?
Yeah.
So as I remember, output minus input is my net tax liability, right?
Correct.
Net GST, right?
Correct.
So output, I have this number. So what is my input? I have to deduct from this output for
Correct.
1,80,000.
Correct.
So what is the deduction?
Is that your question? Is that your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is no straightforward answer to that. You cannot just start on deducting anything and everything that you want from IGST. Okay, you have to go by the flow, because see, CGST credit when it is available, which is 65,000 in this case. Okay, 65,000 credit is available. If you see here, we have calculated that. Now out of that 18,000, you have to first utilize against CGST liability.
Correct.
Any balance.
So now you said 65,000. 65,000 is my input CGST.
Yes.
Right. So referring to your table, input is my CGST, means scenario 2.
No.
Scenario 2, right? Input is CGST, right?
No. This is the one. Scenario 5.
This is where like I'm getting confused.
So when I'm adjusting CGST against CGST liability, that is scenario 5. First of all, 18,000, I'm doing that. Is that okay?
Output, okay, got it. Okay. Then again, similarly for SGST.
Once I am done with, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that as of now. Let me get done with the CGST, then only I'll go to SGST. Now that I'm done with 18,000 credit out of 65,000, how much is left?
47,000.
47,000. 47,000 can be adjusted against IGST as per the second scenario.
Here my input is CGST and output is IGST. Okay.
So I'm adjusting that 47,000 in the IGST. So as you can see, you cannot start writing IGST and start figuring out how much should I adjust. No. You have to go by the flow, so that you can get to know how much of CGST is actually left out, so that I can adjust that with IGST. Are you getting my point?
So always what you recommend, like first we have to start with CGST, then park the balance to IGST, and then go for SGST and park the we can't park for IGST. Of course, you have to carry forward.
Sami, it completely depends on question scenario. Suppose a question would have been there where our IGST credit would have been higher and CGST credit would have been lower. In that case, we will have to go from IGST. You getting my point? So that how much of IGST now we can adjust against CGST will get to know.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? So it completely depends on the question. So the format and how you will go depends on the question itself. Now that is clear. Once we are done with that, then only we go to SGST. SGST, we have 18,000 liability and we have credit of 75,000. Obviously, we will utilize 18,000 only, right? That is as per sixth scenario. Then the balance that is left out after 18,000, 57,000, that will be carried forward. That is as per scenario 3.
Correct.
Yes. Now the balance, what is left out? IGST. IGST credit we have 25,000. The whole 25,000 can be adjusted because the liability is way more, 1,80,000. Yes, that is as per scenario 7.
So the reason why we are adjusting this is that's also my question, is why we are doing this adjustment to knock off CGST and SGST. Is there any, like, just to calculate the net liability or net GST payable? That's what we are trying to.
Suppose during the year you have from your salary account some amount of TDS has been deducted. Yes.
Hmm.
In the end of the year, when you are filing your return, then your
Hmm.
tax liability is calculated. Suppose the tax liability comes to 1 lakh, and during the year TDS has been deducted for 50,000. Will you
So,
not deduct that 50,000 from your liability?
of course, I have to pay to government 50,000.
So you will do 1 lakh minus 50,000, right? Are you getting my point? Whatever
No, the
TDS
thing is,
tax, no, listen to me first. So whatever tax which has been already deducted from you, yeah, you will obviously deduct that because you have already paid the government that much of money, isn't it? Similar
So I'll
case.
get return. So I'll get ID
Similar
return.
case. Similar, no. There is no question of return. So similar case, when you have already paid tax when you are purchasing your materials or receiving your services, you have already paid tax. You want to get the benefit out of that, isn't it? So if your liability is 1 lakh 80, but you have credit of 47,000 and 25,000, obviously you want to pay less. Why would you pay 1 lakh 80? I mean, obviously we will deduct, isn't it?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the only thing is I have to pay to 1 lakh 8,000 to the government because there is a credit I'm expecting from government.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So 1 lakh 8 we are going to pay to government, as you said correctly. Now, let me just quickly create one iteration of this, and maybe you can solve. And in the meantime, I'm actually halfway done through question number 7, Dheeraj's question, and I'll complete that in the meantime. Give me 1 second. Let me just change this. So suppose we have 12 lakhs of interstate and 3 lakhs of intrastate. We have purchases of 5,50,000. Our CGST beginning was 25,000, suppose, and this was 32,000, and this was 28,000. Now our rates are changed to 6, 6, and 12. So can you please recalculate? With this information, I'll share the question right away. Give me 1 second. I've shared the question. Please tell me when you are done. Were you able to do it?
Dheeraj, is it 1,04,000 IGST?
Give me 1 second. No, it is not.
Okay.
Let me share my screen quickly. You can verify.
Sure.
Second. Yeah. If you can see here, just verify now where you have gone wrong.
Output is correct. IGST 1,44,000, 18,000, 18,000, 28,000, 25,000, 28,000, 25,000, 32,000. This is also correct. So I got input as IGST is 28,000, 58,000, 65,000. This is correct. So 18,000, 18,000, 40,000. I did not detect this 28,000. Okay, this is where I missed out. 28,000 I missed out. 28,000 I missed out. So only 50,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you are correct.
Yes.
So it is 76,000.
Correct.
Okay. And remaining for HST carry forward 65,000 minus 80,000, 18,000.
Yes.
So remaining is 47,000 is carried forward.
Yes.
28,000. Why did I miss 28,000? Okay, got it. 28,000 out. Input total input tax. Okay, got it. Yeah. Fine, sure. Can you give one more iteration so that we can practice?
Sure, I can give you separately once we are done probably. Give me one second. So I want to finish off question 7 in the meantime. The Theras one. 1 second. Yeah. So this is the question. If you notice, just give me 1 second. I just completing the question. Okay. Yes. Okay. So here there is one concept that Sher has not discussed comes into picture, which is of reverse charge mechanism. Okay. So reverse charge mechanism is what when we are receiving service, still we have to pay tax.
His recipient is going to pay the GST.
Recipient is going to pay tax. Yes. So now imagine a scenario where you are the one who is paying the tax, who is receiving the service and also paying the tax. Now there are some strict rules that GST has kept, the GST law has kept, which is, when you have a GST payable as per reverse charge mechanism, that is on services that you have received, you cannot utilize input tax credit against it. So what I'm trying to say is, suppose you have CGST credit of 100 rupees, input credit, and you have tax liability of 100 rupees under reverse charge mechanism. You cannot adjust it. You have to pay 100 rupees cash.
So one question, like, sir always keep on saying, wherever there is a taxable supply, GST will get applied.
Yeah.
Right. So in this case, there is a taxable supply happening, but the GST is getting applied, but on a recipient.
On the recipient, yes.
Not on the supplier.
Not on the supplier, yes.
Okay. Means, of course, GST is applying, getting applied on recipient only, but he's paying to supplier, and supplier is like liable to pay to the government.
Can you repeat that? You said the recipient is paying to supplier.
See, he's charged by the supplier to this recipient, right? Like for example, if you are the supplier, I'm the recipient.
Yeah.
So you are charging GST for me
In
when
a
you're providing
regular
the invoice.
in a regular way or reverse charge mechanism, you're saying?
Regular,
Yes, regular one is fine.
right?
Yes.
Correct. So you are supplying the goods and you are charging GST in an invoice. Product
Correct.
cost is 25,000, 5,000 is the GST. So total invoice price is 30,000.
Correct.
So you're charging for me and paying to the government.
Correct.
So now in this reverse case, you are not charging anything. Means the 5,000 you're not charging. You're just charging 25,000,
Correct.
and you're asking me only to pay the 5,000 GST to the government directly.
Correct.
So in this case, how the reverse mechanism is going to work? Like
you just said, right? That's how it works. The way you
directly,
said, that's how it works. See, ultimately, you had to pay 30,000, isn't it?
Correct.
Earlier, you were paying that 30,000 to me. I was depositing to government. Whatever I was doing, that was my business. Yes.
Okay.
Now
Messenger,
you are paying
like
30,000 only. You are still paying 30,000 only. It's just that 25,000 you are paying to me, 5,000 you are paying to government.
Why this provision has been provided? Is there any something specific
Yeah,
reason?
that is one logic. That is one logic. What happens is a few times, I'll give you an example. Okay. So when a professor goes to an institute and provides services, it is very difficult to maintain a record or keep control over the professors because there are so many professors. But if the responsibility is given to the university, that while you make the payment to the professor, you deduct that much of amount you would give to us, that is easier to control. Because number of universities is lesser, number of professors is more, right? For government to keep a track, keep control, it is easier under reverse mechanism in such kind of scenarios.
Okay, so here supplier is the professor who is providing service
Educational services
to the college.
Yes.
And college is the recipient, so he is like taking care to pay back on behalf of professor.
Correct.
Okay.
So coming back to our discussion, what I was trying to say was, if you have reverse mechanism in a tax liability of 100 rupees and you have input tax credit of 100 rupees, you cannot adjust it. Okay, you will have to pay cash. There is no, so that credit will go carry forward, go to the next cycle, and if in that cycle, if you have a regular liability, then you will be able to adjust. Okay.
So if there is no regular liability, then this keep on carry forwarding, right?
No, that will happen. That's a whole different business. If that happens, then again, another thing that comes into picture is if you feel like that is happening for 2 years, it is continuing, then you can make an application to the GST department claiming for a refund. So that case will start and investigations will happen, whether you are genuinely claiming or not, and all that happen. That's a whole different business. We're not bothered about that. So now that we understand that the credit cannot be adjusted against this liability, let's also understand one thing. If you are paying cash, then that is a credit, isn't it? If you are paying cash, that is a credit, isn't it? You should be able to claim credit for that. So what I'm trying to say in this example is, you had 100 rupees of liability for reverse charge mechanism. Now you had credit of CGST. You could not apply it. Forget about the CGST. You only have liability. You paid the cash. The moment you pay the cash, now that is your deposit, isn't it? You should be able to claim the credit for that, isn't it? So to understand the concept here, you are making the payment under reverse mechanism. Right away, you are eligible for a credit.
The only thing is I understood. See, for example, we can't directly set off or negate it. We have to pay it and wait for the credit to receive after some time.
So suppose in the same period, along with that reverse charge mechanism service, you had some other services also, right? And you had liability of 200. You had liability of 200. Will you be able to adjust this 100 against the 200? Yes.
But you said your input tax rate can't be adjusted, right? Against reverse mechanism.
You are confusing it now. What I was saying was you had reverse mechanism liability. Against this, you have CGST input credit. This is a no-no. You can't adjust it. Now we are talking about another scenario.
No means not direct way we can't do it. We have to first pay it back to government and again
No adjustment at all. No. There is no loophole. No adjustment at all. However, suppose after the payment, you have reverse mechanism credit. You have some other liability, be it CGST, be it SGST, okay, liability. This is a yes, you can adjust.
Okay.
Are you
so
getting my
from
point?
reverse mechanism liability to CGST input is not possible, but reverse mechanism credit to CGST or SGST liability is possible.
Yes.
Okay.
So the moment you make the payment under the reverse mechanism, that becomes a credit for you. That credit you can utilize against other liabilities. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now that that is clear, let's quickly move to the question and try to finish this in 5 minutes. It's already late. Mr. Dheeraj, a registered supplier of service in Bangalore, Karnataka state, has provided the following information in the month of February. Intrastate taxable supply, 5,20,000. Intrastate taxable supply. That means CGST and SGST both will apply, right?
Correct.
Now, here percentage is given as 9%, 9%, 18%. Yes. So 5,20,000 into 9%, CGST becomes 46,800, SGST becomes 46,800. Yes, correct? Legal fee paid to a lawyer located within the state.
Again, CGST, SGST.
No, 1 second. Be careful here.
Within this state.
Legal fee paid to a lawyer. What does it mean? You have provided service or you have received service?
I had received the service.
You have received the service, but it comes under, we are just discussing reverse mechanism. Okay. So this service comes under reverse mechanism, and because of which you will have to pay tax on it. Otherwise, you would not have to.
Okay.
Now you have to pay tax on it. So 20,000 reverse charge mechanism, 9% interest rate, 9% interest rate comes to 1,800. This is what reverse charge mechanism. You have to pay tax on it now. Yes. Now rent paid to state government for his office building. Rent paid to state government. Is he receiving service or providing service?
Service received.
It is a service, but state, wherever government is the service provider, no, the other party is actually has to pay. It's always under reverse mechanism. That's how the whole system is built. Okay. So here also the reverse mechanism applies, and on 30,000, 9% CGST comes to 2,700, 9% SGST comes to 2,700. That also you have to pay. Okay. So next one is received for services towards conduct of exams to Love All University, Pune, blah, 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 whatever is given. It is actually a exempt service.
Interested.
No, this is actually exempt service. So wherever something related to education, exams, services related to that is provided, no, most of it will be exempt only. So similarly, this is an exempt service. So no tax on it. No tax on it. Yes. So as of now, what we have concluded, we have intrastate 46,800 CGST, reverse charge 1,800 CGST, 2,700 CGST, and same exact numbers for SGST also. Yes, agreed? The total comes to 51,300, 51,300. Yes, agreed? Now tell me, what will be the net amount? What do you say? The question asks is compute the net GST liability. Net GST liability. How much will it will be? Can you tell me? Is it 51,300?
No. Because it's an output GST, right? We have to deduct it from input GST. Like we need to calculate
There
input
is no
GST.
information about input. Okay, there is no information about input in this question. If you notice, no information.
But
at
we
all.
have IGST. Okay. No, but thing is, this is a reverse mechanism, right? 1800
Yes,
plus
I was just mentioning
2007.
that, right? So basically, this 1800
It
and
should be deducted.
2700, yes, 1800 and 2700, you can actually deduct it from the CGST and SGST as the case may be, and by which, so let me just write it here, input credit.
So it is something like 46,800 minus 1800 plus 2,700.
My bad, sorry.
It is nothing but 46,800 minus 1,800 plus 2,700.
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Yeah.
46,800.
46,800 minus 1,800 minus 2,700.
No.
1,800 plus
No.
2,700.
Your liability was how much? Why are you looking at 46,800? Your liability was how much? 51,300, right? Our liability was 51,300, right? Including those two.
Correct.
Now that we are deducting only 1,800, 2,700, it will come back to that 46,800, isn't it?
Okay.
We're basically adding and deducting the reverse charge mechanism once. That's all. That's what is happening. So your CGST and SGST liability remains as is, as it was for the interest rate supply. As if the reverse charge mechanism was not there at all. And it makes sense also, isn't it?
Okay.
Right?
So
your final net liability is this much.
Net GST, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Net GST liability is 46,800, 46,800. So only less than 1 minute is there. Once it is done, we'll wind up. Yeah. And
Sure.
If I have time, I'll share some more iterations of the questions. Otherwise, you can create by yourself. I'll share the Excel.
Absolutely. I think
take the numbers and you can do it by yourself. Any questions on this question?
No, this is really
yeah. So that reverse charge mechanism was a new one. I'm not sure if the question will be there because he has not practiced that this in class. But better to actually.
This question is not solved, right?
No, this is not solved in the question in the class. But he has given the question in the class. He asked us to solve it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said that.